going on, everybody, and welcome to the video. In this one, we're talking about this penny stock that has caught some huge momentum recently but made a massive comeback down. We're going to talk about what happened and why I do believe there is some big upside potential, like way bigger than going from 25 cents to 60 cents. There's huge upside potential. Analysts are loving the stock, institutions starting to love the stock, so we've got a lot to talk about. Before we get into that, I'll ask that you subscribe to the channel and you turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. First thing we got to talk about is, who is this company? The company specializes in early screening, cancer, and detection. So very big market, very important market. And what kind of made this massive 61% increase in the stock, like we'll see here, there's articles about it, was mainly two things. One is it just started to rally on Twitter, okay? It started to go pretty viral and the stock started to catch a lot of momentum, and this is a low float stock. Since it is a low float stock, high volatility is just what comes into play. So other than that, there was not much that came out on the stock. There is some talk about getting a new co-CEO, which could be a very strategical move for this company and give them bullish outlooks. But even without all this stuff, the only other thing would be is that this is a Chinese company, and one of this has to do with a lot of Chinese names are catching attention. A recent string of IPOs with low floats are getting exposure, and this is a company with a very low float, and it's also Chinese based. To show you kind of visual, here's the stock going from literally 24 cents to right here, a 28-cent gain, 150%. Huge upside that the stock made. But let me show you the potential that it has long term, okay? Looking at this, the average price target is 3,000% upside to $8.04. Analysts really do love this stock. And not only that, but the average annual forecast in revenue growth is huge, to 8.9 million to 12 million to 19.6 million. This company right now is trading for $6.4 million in a total market cap. So a very small company looking to capitalize on opportunities in the market that they're in. We'll see it says 9.8 million here on Yahoo Finance, but regardless, it's still a very small company. I mean, as we can see right here, the short float right here, not the short float, the entire float of the company is 16.93 million shares with about 39 million outstanding. So still very low amount of stock out in the market that is publicly available to be traded. Showing you some more on the company, just give you a more broad overview. They're a biotech company researching, developing, marketing, and selling multi-cancer screening and detection tests. Very big market. So about this company, their kind of motto is, the earlier you can detect cancer, the easier it is to fight, and the better of a chance you have. So knowing your risk early means knowing you'll be all right. They have a great team working on a ton of different things. Now looking at pipeline things, you know, they're not necessarily a product, it's more of a cancer screening product. It's not necessarily a necessary medicine or something that needs to be clinically trialed over and over again. Now, one thing I will say, if we go to kind of just their financials and their quarterly results, we can't get the best results strictly from this information, but from Q2 2021, the first half revenue was up 128% year over year, with the loss reduced by 18.3%. So they do seem to be making slow recoveries. They are in a little bit of a weird fiscal year schedule. I mean, as their next reporting will be Q3 of 2021, which was literally a year ago in calendar time. But still, we're looking at very good stuff on the company. To show you the financials right here, this is what we're looking at. This is annually. If we go to the quarterly results, they're not perfect, but they aren't terrible. So gross profit is still there, but we should be looking at better numbers coming up pretty soon. They did have a pretty weak quarter most recently, but trailing 12 months still 17.7 million in CNY, which is China's currency, Chinese yuan. So these numbers are pretty important to look at. But I do want to show you some more things on this company. The institutional activity, we're seeing some recent inflow. I mean, pretty small, you know, only $31,000, but that's better than no money, you know. So we're looking at some pretty good stuff, bullish activity. This was actually purchased from Virtue Financial, which is the probably second biggest market maker in the world, compared to the biggest being Citadel. And not only that, but recently, new sentiment on the company last 30 days, we've got 3 positive and 0 negatives. And before that, we've got 0 negatives and 0 positives. So we're seeing momentum slowly starting to pick up, looking very good. MACD still pretty solid. Could see a major trend reversal and get some nice upward momentum, especially if the company does decide to provide some very good news. But everybody, that's going to wrap it up for this video. So if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you for making it to the end, and I will see you at the next one.